Have you ever found yourself making decisions in the heat of the moment, only to regret them later? Emotions are powerful, but Stoicism teaches us how to pause and make decisions with reason and clarity. Even when emotions run high. I'm from the Stoic Way channel, and in today's video, we're going to explore how to stay rational when emotions run high. When we're in the middle of an emotional storm, whether it's anger, fear, or excitement, it's easy to make decisions that we later regret. But Stoicism gives us the tools to pause, reason, and act with clarity, even under emotional pressure. In a world that often encourages immediate emotional reactions, Stoicism offers a different path. Stoicism teaches us that our emotions don't have to control us. We can use reason and self-discipline to choose our responses, no matter how intense the situation. By learning to stay calm and rational, we can make better decisions and avoid the regret that often follows emotional decisions. In this video, we'll dive into Epictetus' quote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." We'll discuss how Stoicism teaches us to pause before reacting and how we can use reason to guide our actions, even when emotions threaten to overwhelm us. Before we dive in, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. What strategies do you use to stay calm and rational when emotions run high? Let's explore this Stoic approach to emotional control together. Let's reflect on this insightful quote from Epictetus. "No man is free who is not master of himself." Epictetus, this quote speaks directly to the Stoic belief that true freedom comes from self-mastery. Emotions, when left unchecked, can control us, making us react impulsively, often leading to regret. But when we master our emotions, we gain freedom from being ruled by them. Epictetus reminds us that freedom is not just about external circumstances, but about our ability to control our own thoughts, actions, and reactions. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot always control the emotions we feel, we can control how we respond to them. By learning to pause and reflect before reacting, we can act with reason and clarity, even in the most emotionally charged situations. Mastering ourselves is the key to living with true freedom, not freedom from emotions, but freedom from being ruled by them. We've just reflected on Epictetus' powerful quote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This statement is the core of Stoic philosophy. That true freedom comes from the ability to control our reactions to the emotions that rise within us. It's not about suppressing emotions or denying them, but about choosing how we respond to them with reason and clarity. Emotions are a natural part of life, but when we allow them to take control, they can lead us to make decisions we later regret. Epictetus teaches us that the key to freedom lies in self-mastery, the ability to pause and choose a rational response, even when emotions are running high. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can take a step back, assess the situation, and choose to act in alignment with our values in today's world. We often see emotional outbursts and decisions driven by anger, fear, or excitement. Stoicism teaches us to pause before reacting, to give ourselves the space to reflect and then respond with clarity. This is how we maintain our freedom, by mastering ourselves, our reactions, and our actions. Think about a situation in your life where emotions led you to act impulsively. Perhaps you said something you regretted during an argument, or made a decision based on frustration or excitement. How did that decision play out? Did it bring peace or regret? This is where Stoicism offers a different path. Instead of reacting immediately, we can choose to pause and ask ourselves, what do I really want to achieve here? What response would be in alignment with my values? By taking a moment to reflect, we allow ourselves to respond with reason instead of emotion, which leads to better decisions and greater peace. The Stoic principle here is self-mastery. The idea that we are responsible for how we respond to external events, no matter how intense or emotional the situation. The dichotomy of control also plays a role here. We can't control our emotions or what others do, but we can control how we choose to respond. By focusing on what we can control, we regain our power and act in a way that aligns with our true values. Another Stoic concept related to this is amorphoti, the love of fate. When we accept that emotions are a natural part of life, we don't resist them, but we embrace the challenge of mastering them. Stoicism encourages us to face life's challenges, including our emotions, with courage and rationality, accepting that they are opportunities for growth. Next time you're in a situation where emotions are running high, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, what can I control here? What response will align with my values and goals? Instead of letting anger, fear, or excitement drive your actions, choose to respond with clarity and reason. Taking just a moment to reflect can make a huge difference in how you navigate challenging moments. For example, if you're frustrated with someone at work or in your personal life, pause and think about what you want to achieve in that conversation. Do you want to react out of anger or frustration, or do you want to respond thoughtfully, with respect and clarity? Your response, guided by reason, will not only help you stay calm, but will also lead to more productive and peaceful interactions. I've had times when I felt overwhelmed by emotion, especially in stressful situations. There was one instance where I was dealing with a difficult project and felt frustrated by the lack of progress. I was ready to lash out at my team, but I remembered the Stoic teachings about emotional control. Instead of reacting, I took a moment to breathe and reflect. I realized that my frustration wouldn't help the situation. By taking a step back and choosing to respond with calmness and patience, I was able to approach the problem more effectively and find a solution without creating unnecessary tension. Think about a time when you let emotions guide your decisions. How could you have handled the situation differently if you had taken a moment to pause and reflect? How can you practice emotional mastery the next time you feel overwhelmed by emotion? One of the most powerful teachings of Stoicism is the idea that true freedom comes from mastering our emotions. In a world that constantly encourages emotional decision-making, whether it's reacting to social media, getting caught up in a heated argument, or making decisions based on stress or excitement, Stoicism offers a path to calmness and reason, even in the face of intense emotions. Epictetus' quote, "No man is free who is not master of himself," reminds us that emotional self-control is the foundation of true freedom. When we're not controlled by our emotions, we have the power to make decisions that align with our values, goals, and better judgment. This is the Stoic path, the ability to pause reason and act with clarity when emotions run high. The concept of emotional self-mastery has been central to Stoic thought for centuries. Epictetus, who himself endured significant hardship, believed that freedom comes from controlling our internal world, not from external circumstances, in his discourses. Epictetus teaches that our emotions are within our control, and that by practicing self-discipline and reflection, we can prevent our emotions from dictating our actions. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, also recognized the importance of mastering our emotions in his meditations. He writes extensively about pausing before reacting, choosing to respond with reason, and using emotions as signals for reflection rather than immediate reactions. For the Stoics, freedom is found when we stop being slaves to our emotions and instead use reason to guide our actions. The Stoic concept of emotional self-mastery teaches us that while we can't always control our emotions, we can control how we respond to them. This idea is rooted in the dichotomy of control. The understanding that we can control our thoughts, actions, and responses. But we can't control external events or other people's behavior. By focusing on what we can control, our reactions, we free ourselves from the emotional chaos that often rises in response to external triggers. Stoicism doesn't teach us to suppress our emotions, but rather to acknowledge them and choose how. We respond. Emotions, when understood and managed, can serve as tools for growth and self-awareness. Instead of reacting impulsively, Stoicism encourages us to pause, reflect, and decide how to respond in a way that aligns with our values. Let's take an example. You're in a disagreement with someone and your emotions are running high. The Stoic approach would be to pause before reacting, to take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is within my control in this situation? How do I want to respond? Instead of reacting impulsively with anger or frustration, you could choose to respond with calmness, understanding, and reason by taking a moment to reflect. You can decide on the best course of action, which not only helps resolve the situation more effectively, but also protects your emotional well-being. Similarly, if you're facing stress at work or in your personal life, Stoicism encourages you to pause and reflect before acting, asking yourself, what response will best serve my long-term goals and values? By using reason to guide your actions, you create a sense of control and calm, even in the midst of external pressure. The practice of emotional self-mastery has a profound impact on our mental health and well-being. When we stop reacting impulsively and start responding with reason, we reduce the stress and anxiety that often accompany emotional outbursts. By mastering our emotions, we create a more peaceful and focused mindset, which leads to better decision-making, improved relationships, and a stronger sense of inner peace. Stoicism helps us shift our focus from the external triggers that cause us distress to the internal choices we make in response. This shift leads to greater emotional resilience and a deeper sense of freedom because we no longer feel at the mercy of our emotions or external circumstances. By practicing emotional self-mastery in line with Stoic philosophy, we regain control over our reactions and decisions, making it possible to navigate life with clarity and calmness. Even when emotions run high, true freedom comes from mastering ourselves, not from avoiding emotions, but from choosing how to respond to them. Today, we explored the Stoic principle of emotional self-mastery and how true freedom comes from being in control of our reactions. We discussed how Epictetus' wisdom teaches us that we don't have to be controlled by our emotions. Instead, we have the power to pause, reflect, and respond with reason. No matter how high the emotions run, Stoicism teaches us that emotional reactions often lead to regret, and by mastering ourselves, we can make decisions with clarity, even in stressful situations. How can you apply this Stoic principle in your life? The next time you feel overwhelmed by emotions, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, what is in my control here? How do I want to respond? Instead of reacting immediately, use the space to reflect and choose a response that aligns with your values and goals. This simple practice can drastically change how you approach challenges and allow you to make decisions that reflect your best self. Think about a time when you let emotions guide your decisions. How could you have handled that situation differently if you had paused and used reason? Reflect on how practicing emotional self-mastery could change the way you respond to life's challenges. I encourage you to try this practice today and see how it shifts your perspective and decision-making process. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can continue learning Stoic principles to help you live with greater emotional resilience and peace. Let me know in the comments, what techniques do you use to stay calm when emotions run high? How do you apply Stoic wisdom in your own life? To leave you with a final thought, Remember the words of Epictetus. No man is free who is not master of himself. Emotional self-mastery is not just about suppressing feelings, but about choosing how we respond to them. True freedom comes when we can navigate life's emotional storms with clarity and reason. And Stoicism gives us the tools to do just that. Stay calm, stay rational, and keep practicing the art of Stoic living.